Hello, everybody, and welcome to Shooting It Straight with Donnie C. I am your host, Donnie C. I want to thank everybody for coming in, hanging out with us. Another week has passed, and here we are. And you're with us again, so we appreciate your time. And like always, we is me and my good friend Dave. Dave, how you doing today?
I'm well, Don. How are you?
Good. You got a little. Your Star Wars theme has progressed from the walls to the bed, from the windows to the walls. Your shirt has Star Wars on it now too.
Well, that's because we have a special guest today, so I had to wear my Sunday's best.
Oh, so yeah, I didn't realize I needed to get dressed up, so I apologize.
It's okay. I'll let you slide this time. Next
Thank
time,
you.
be more prepared. It's your show, after all.
It is my show, but it is Dave's friend and special
Yes.
guest. And Dave, I'll let you introduce him since he is yours.
I appreciate that. Welcome to the show. Good friend of mine and host of the WDMagicast, Matthew Gregan. Come to the show.
Welcome.
Hello
Matt.
there.
Hello. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be on such a wonderful establishment.
Well, he obviously hasn't seen the show yet, so we're good. No, thank you very much. We do appreciate it. And yes, Matt has his own podcast, WD, over here, and Dave is how he got his start here doing podcast. He broke his cherry with Matt.
Yeah.
So I'm Sloppy Seconds.
He's up seconds.
It took me over 2 years of begging and beating him over the head to get him on one episode.
And now you can't get rid of me.
Now it's over.
And now he's gone almost a year straight without almost maybe missing a week or two.
Yeah, he got the bug. He's in.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
in, and
yeah,
not
He's
only
all over a year too.
yes, he does two
committing
different
adultery.
shows.
He's committing adultery on me.
No.
We have that kind of understanding.
Yes.
Right, that's good. We have a good relationship. It's like having a foster kid, and me and Matt, we share our child David. We share him back and forth.
So, all right, Matt, before we get into the meats and potatoes of the episode, why don't you tell the audience what they could expect from yours podcast?
You're part of it too.
I know.
Yes, it's my brainchild, but
Right.
there's so many more facets to it than just me. So
Right.
I mean, there's you, there's Matt Leonard, there's Isaac. In case you had guests and interviewed people on there, but as we like to say, it's WDMagicast, the Mouse, the Marvels, the Galaxy, and beyond. We talk anything and everything Disney, and some topics beyond that. I have some things planned coming up in the forthcoming weeks that may push the boundaries a little further. We shall see. But we talk Disney, we talk the parks, we talk. We like to promote the Muppets also a lot because someone doesn't. And so we've had a number of people who've worked with Tencent on the show. We've had, I was telling you before, Don, Daniel Ross, who is one of the voices of Donald Duck, Matthew Berry from ESPN, Stefania Bell from ESPN. So we've had a lot of people on the show that expand the company. We talk about sports, we talk about movies, review movies, review Disney Plus shows, we've got parks. I've done walkthroughs of resorts, so we do a lot of different things around the giant umbrella that is the Disney Corporation.
Yeah.
And it fits right in with Dave, obviously, with his background.
Yeah. I have learned. I mentioned this on his show one episode. It was like the amount of stuff that I've learned in the past year, just doing his show. It's amazing.
Yeah. No, Dave is deep.
Yeah.
Matthew is
It's
like the
deep.
deep end. He's like the dive. If you're diving into a pool with Dave, Matthew's like the high board. The high board that you're all the way up here, and you're deep because it's got to be deep.
Yeah.
I got to introduce you to Dan Z one day. One day I have to have you on with him as well.
Mm-hmm.
You think, okay, we talked Star Wars. This guy's written for Star Wars.
That's
Oh,
crazy.
wow.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome and
Yeah,
amazing.
Dan Z, Coffee with Kenobi podcast. Good friend of mine.
Yeah, he's good.
Wonderful guy.
Okay.
He's literally written the Star Wars book.
Yeah,
I have it upstairs.
Got it. Okay.
Um,
That's awesome.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
in tribute, Dave,
was Star Wars.
Dave, I'm sorry.
Written for StarWars.com. I've been to Star Cruiser a couple of times.
He's
which we
been,
may
yeah.
be talking about later.
Speaking of Star Cruisers and things of that nature, Dave, with your shirt, I can't take my eyes off you. It's very weird.
Do you want me to
said it to a man before.
People just can't keep his eyes off of him.
I've never said it to a man before, and Dave, I don't know how you pulled it off, but you did, so kudos to you. But Star Cruisers...
Just say a bionic bar helps him out.
Oh, yeah. This is true.
Disney... Speaking of Disney, obviously, we're going to try and keep it close to Disney because it's close to hand here. They've got the park, not the park. It's the hotel.
Yes.
Tell everybody, because you guys know a lot more about this than I do. So go ahead and start. I've done some research, but I've never even lived it outside of looking at clips and stuff like that. So Dave, what is this hotel that is no more a hotel?
I'll give a vague, and then I'll pass it up to Matt. It's basically a luxurious hotel that they opened in 2022, I believe, and they're going to close it after a year. Now, the reason why I think is because of the $4,000 to $6,000, $4,800 to $6,000 for 2 nights.
That's the deluxe. I heard that was the deluxe episode. Like, if you brought more than 2 people. If you brought 2 people, it wasn't that much. But if you had kids with you, that's when it jumped. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But and this is my thought on that, just real quick. That price right there. Who in their right minds is going there with their kids for that price?
Yeah.
If I'm going somewhere and I'm spending that kind of money, I love my kids, but they're staying with their aunts, they're staying with their cousins, they're staying somewhere, and me and the wife are going there, and guess what? I'm fucking Luke Skywalker.
I don't know if you can pull that off.
I'm fucking Chewbacca. I'm Han Solo. I'm somebody.
Wait. What are you doing to Chewbacca?
I'm gonna be him. I'm going around with my shirt off, and I'm trying to be Chewbacca.
That plays Ben Affleck.
Right. That's true too. But my good friend Ben, who's married to my girl, J-Lo.
Oh God.
Hit me up. Hit me up.
Well, Don, let me just pause you there for a moment. You can't do that with Luke Skywalker there. Because it doesn't take place during Skywalker time. It's
Christ.
With Rey and Kylo Ren.
This is the problem. See, this is the problem.
I love it.
So, okay. So I can be Chewbacca, though. I saw him in the ad. So I can run around with my shirt off and be Chewbacca like a motherfucker. I'm everywhere.
That's one way to have a good time, I guess.
But I'm saying, like, if I brought my kids there, I want my kids to enjoy. I want my kids to have fun. But for that kind of number, I'm not taking them there to have that kind of, like, that's just astronomical. That's a whole nother trip in itself. Somewhere else. Not for 2 days. 2 days!
Yeah.
You're out of your mind!
2 nights.
2 nights. So 3 days? 2.5 days?
Correct. 2.5 days. So you get there, I guess it was around noonish on the first day. Introductory, get into everything. The story begins. Spend the first night, second full day. You do some stuff on the Star Cruiser. Then you get privately brought into Galaxy's Edge. And then there was stuff to do there.
Did they get you? Don't they get you on the rides too? Don't they get you on? Smuggler's Run.
And it looks cool as hell.
Resistance.
Then you come back, finish up a second night on Star Cruiser, and then spend the morning, and then you exit.
Okay.
Food was all included. Alcohol wasn't.
And not
food was
not alcohol.
included.
I saw that because that's a big one for me too.
So that is one thing to keep in mind. Is the price a problem? Absolutely.
Yeah,
the price was extreme.
Yeah.
But
it's
are
crazy.
they alone in that? No, because there's actually hotels like this. I believe it's in Vegas that follow along this path. But Disney marked it off their more extreme price end than following an exact price match on it because they're trying to sell the name and the exclusivity of it all.
It's awesome.
It
is awesome.
On paper, it's a brilliant idea.
Brilliant. Yeah. Even the one even in Vegas, if you had something like this in Vegas and you could do this in Vegas,
well, they did.
But Vegas is big on kids again too. Vegas has brought kids into the world. Like, hey, it's a family space now.
Yeah.
I don't want Vegas to be a family place. I want to see tits and ass everywhere, and I want to be drinking and having fun.
The what,
This is yep.
Welcome aboard, Matt.
Exactly.
Welcome. Listen, you didn't have to pay that much for this ride.
I have an image I have to keep.
Yes.
So the Vegas goes back and forth on that. And
Right. I just don't understand it.
Back in the early aughts, they had the Star Trek experience there,
Right.
which was absolutely fantastic. Unfortunately, they shut it down, but it was absolutely fantastic, and it bumped up the level of inclusivity and the experience of stuff, because you walked into Quark's bar, the characters were walking around there, and then the attraction itself was fantastic. They beamed you up onto the ship, you walked across the bridge of the Enterprise D, you put into shuttlecraft, the whole thing.
Incredible.
Which is absolutely fantastic. Which, and again, it's a shame that they moved on from that, but yeah, nothing lasts forever. So Disney was going along with something with that, and again, Vegas has a hotel that, or a club or whatever, does something like this. So okay, we're going to do something like this. We're going to, the level of immersion is going to be second to none, and we're going to roll these out across the world, different parks and whatnot. They tried this also with Disney Quest back in the 90s. They built 2 of those, and they were building a third one, and it shuttered. So they keep trying to push the envelope of entertainment, exclusivity, and something unique and whatnot, and they don't always take it the right direction. This
Right.
being
It's a balancing act.
So I'd like to say it's not just the price that killed it.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Do you think that the price point is what destroyed this? Because I'm assuming they wanted it to go longer than a year and a couple months before they shut it down.
Not 100%.
No, yeah, I agree with Matt. I can't imagine that it would just be the price point too, because if I was like one of you guys and that deep into it, I'd be willing to pay a stupid amount to enjoy this experience, because I think that would be awesome.
Right.
Because I think it's a stupid number? Yes. But I understand why it's a stupid number, and I'd be willing to pay a portion of that stupid number to say, I had this experience.
Right. Well, we actually talked about that, saying that we would have to get, like, if 4 people are sitting there, we would have to get 4 people to split that bill, and it'd be like $1,200 each. That's still steep, but at least we're only paying $1,200. Okay.
So, Don, you're a Star Wars guy too, right?
Yeah, great. Oh, yeah, deep.
He knows of it. He's not.
I'm
like
aware
hardcore.
of it, and I watched 4, 5, and 6.
Okay. But
That's it.
But you're kind of going to prove my point here. And then Dave, I'm assuming, I'm not positive. I think you broach it once in a while. I know your favorite one is the Phantom Menace. So
Yeah. Okay.
I think I remember that episode. That was not the favorite.
No.
that's my light here. So they based the story of it, and this was also kind of the thing with Galaxy's Edge. They based the story around the most recent set of movies. So the sequel trilogy,
That'll do it.
7, 8, and 9, which haven't caught on as much yet. And Dave, we've talked about this in nauseum about how I've said, okay, when we originally had the first 3 movies, and everyone loved the first 3 movies because that's all there was. And a decade later, George comes out with the prequels, 1, 2, and 3.
Right.
And all of us grumpier old men who were in our 20s and 30s when those movies came out and said, these are garbage, these aren't our Star Wars.
He's not lying.
Hogwash on them. Hogwash,
Right.
I tell you.
Never even went to see him. That's how much I hated it.
Follow me through here.
Yeah.
We got you.
Those came out 90, early 2000. The people who grew up with those, who sold those first, are now 20s, 30s, and they are the ones with the money.
Right.
And those shows are taking up because you have the animated show, the Clone Wars animated show, Rebels, all that stuff that is based off of them that has been very successful.
Right.
Because they are the ones with the money and controlling things now. We are old. We're moved on from that. We're going, whatever now. So you had the sequels come out. and those just came out a few years ago, not that long ago. My son was first movie, but he's 8.
Mm-hmm.
10 years from now, whenever he's 18, or when he's out of college or in college, and he has more money and he's become the focus, those movies are going to resurface,
Right.
and they will become the primary focus. Disney, in some ways, jumped the gun on that, and they're push. Okay, let's push this and push the ones
Go
that
ahead.
we put out.
Could they have done something though, where they incorporated all of them as a mashup type scenario, where it was still a kickoff of
Fanboy
it, but
Dave.
not exact.
Fanboy Dave, how would you
Would
feel
you have gone
about
to that? Yeah, how would you
Rey
feel about that?
walking hand in hand with Darth Vader fighting?
That's the thing. Is like I don't think they could because they're spanned
Right.
so far apart.
And that's
that
what
if
I'm
you
asking-
put
that's
them
what I'm
all-
asking.
If
Yeah.
you put them all together, it just wouldn't work.
It would destroy everything they were going for.
To Matt's point, if they did a theme with the Star Cruiser with the original trilogy,
Right.
guys like me would have probably fucking loved the thing. You know what I mean? And would have paid the $4,800 right away. You know, but
Could they have made it over time? Let's say the first day you go in there. It's the prequels.
switch the themes each day. Yes.
Each day is a different theme, and you kind of just go through the themes of the whole thing, though. So not only are
each
you
trilogy.
getting each trilogy is a different day. So not only do you get the little bit that you love, but the one that we grew up with and whatnot. That's the meat and the potatoes. That's in the middle, right during the main day. And then you still get the beginning, you still get the end. Could they have mashed that up in a way that would have worked?
Could they have done it? Yes. Would they have done it? No.
Well, that's where they went wrong, man.
No, we got it.
But there's a reason why. It's called
Okay.
continuity. Disney's about the story, so you can't tell a direct story over 40 years,
Right.
and
In
split
2.5
that up.
days.
Right,
Yeah.
and split it
Right.
up that much. Okay.
And also to the point that really where they should have gone, and they could have done it on the prequels. They could have done it on the original stuff. The smarter bet on that, and where I'm surprised they didn't go with it, is Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Because Mandalorian is the really hot ticket at the
Yeah.
moment. That's really what's
That-
bringing it in.
Right, that's what's moving right now.
Right.
That would've
So
been the-
they
that would've
should have
been the
done that,
smart move.
or even better. One group is the Rey's story. One group is this, and one group is that. You split.
pick your
the
story.
cruises.
You have a different story, right?
That's a smart idea. Pick your, you
And
want the OG.
that would have brought in
Yeah.
more people back because
Yeah.
okay,
It's-
you go once or twice and it's like okay, I've seen it, I've done it all.
Right.
Why am I going back now? What
Right,
what
now
is
you
new
can do it
for
again,
me
and it'd
to
be
spend
totally
that
different.
kind of money to go again?
You should
That
have
would've
done
been
more.
Part of the
smart.
problem that they were having, and this is what they were having trouble with Galaxy's Edge as well, is that they were so hell bent on making it this one time period. That okay, how do we bring in characters and stuff now? So it's like okay, we could bring in Boba Fett because we know he exists at this point, but how are we supposed to bring Mandalorian, the Din Djarin and Grogu in to Galaxy's Edge and interact? We can't have him interact with Rey because we don't even know if they make it to that point yet.
Yeah.
So if you walk around, you'll run into Din Djarin and Grogu in a certain area, but you will not see Rey, Chewbacca, Kylo Ren, or any of those in that same area. They do keep them separated.
They got the little section by the bathroom. They got to hang out there.
So
They're handing out more toilet paper.
only for a price. Only for
Right.
That's right, exactly. Everything
But
for a
I
price.
can see that
Baseballs,
though.
the toilet paper.
I can see that though because
The flamethrower. The kids love this one.
it's themed on the sequel trilogy, which was very diverse amongst Star Wars, hardcore Star Wars fans, you know. And that, so like me, I'm like, nah, I don't want nothing to do with the trilogy. Just like the new movie that's coming out that's based on Rey, I don't even want to see it.
Yeah.
So, but whatever.
Yeah, I think for the price that you pay for admission, I think it's a great concept. I think it's a great idea. And even as somebody who isn't a huge Star Wars fan, like some of the other guests we have on the show today, or co-hosts, or anybody else, I would still enjoy going to that and experiencing it only because it's still fucking Star Wars. Like it's still awesome. It's still to be in that world and interact that way. It would still be
And not
freaking
just
awesome.
kind of like walking through it. I mean, you are completely in it.
Immersed. You're 100%. You're a character in it.
All the cast members there are named to that. They have
Right.
a background story. They have a full,
Right.
complete story to them.
Yeah, it's
there's
awesome.
a whole thing that plays out to it, and
But-
it just
It just missed the
it
mark.
set a new level. Unfortunately,
Mhm.
they didn't play all their cards right
Right.
to
Yeah.
include. But the idea is brilliant, and the execution
Great
was brilliant.
concept.
It's just
right.
they missed
It
out.
didn't
on
work.
What
Right.
was
Work.
where was the ultimate decision made? Like, why was it the attendance? They weren't getting people. Is that why they were like, okay, we're not going to make any money off this, so we got to pull the plug? Was that the
Yes.
last straw?
Dave, it's always money.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, of course, but it was even to the point
It's a
that they
business.
started discounting it. They were offering DVC members, the Disney Vacation Club members, annual pass holders. They were offering them all discounts, and I don't think that was even pulling in enough attendance where they quickly pulled the plug on this. Now the thing is sold out. You know.
Well, now that it's
closes
over.
in
Well, 'cause it's
middle of
closed.
September, so
Right.
but you cannot get every berth is filled on that. The other thing is it is a very the rooms were small. There's only so many rooms, so to factor it out, it's horrible math.
Yeah.
So they're closing it in September because it's pre-fiscal year,
Right.
and this way next fiscal year they start writing it off. They have to write it off. I think
Yeah, I was
about
gonna say that's
15
gotta be a
years or so,
massive
15,
loss
20
for them.
years possibly. I forget the exact number.
Yeah,
But
it's a hit.
yeah, and then it'll become something else.
Yep. Okay.
All right.
That works for me, but I mean the concept, like you said, the concept in itself was awesome, and I would have loved to have gone and experienced that. And I'm not one of those guys that goes, "Oh, my next trip has to be Disney." No, I'm not one of those guys. But something like that, after seeing the videos and seeing the commercials and stuff like that, I'm like, that would be freaking awesome. But at that point and everything else, it just no.
Yeah.
I wanted to pay
Galaxy-
some buck. I wanted to get the lightsaber.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole nine.
As
Pay
long as
it
Galaxy-
Not
out.
the shield. And Dave could thank me for the shield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as long as they keep the Galaxy's Edge there, which I'm assuming it's a
Galaxy's
massive
Edge
hit,
is not
it's not
going
going anywhere.
Right.
You know,
It's got one of the best rides of all the parks.
Yes, 100%. Yep. Rise of
All right.
Resistance.
Yeah, that
All
thing
right.
is incredible.
So, all right, we're gonna move off of Star Wars, and we're gonna go to a different kind of entertainment.
Ooh. Okay.
Apparently, they're coming out with in movies in theaters now is the Beast Wars, Transformers: Rise of the Beast.
Right.
Is it still in theaters, Dave? You sure about that?
I'm pretty sure it is because a certain somebody that we know was trying to get us to go to the theater, so it's still there.
Both showings, yes.
Yeah. But there
No,
is
get out longer. There should be plenty of showings. Yes, there's two of them. Yes.
Yeah. So and there's a rumor that I don't know, it's a rumor. It is coming out. A new show, Transformers One. I think it's coming out in September of 2024. I believe it's animated.
Yes.
So that begs the question. We have all the animated stuff that's there. They've tried with the live action stuff. I was a fan of the live action in the beginning, like the first few movies. Then it just got too convoluted. So it's like, maybe they went a little too far with the animation stuff. With the live action stuff.
Right.
So I will welcome the animated movie with open arms because it's
I
something
don't.
new.
I don't. I do not open. I am not open armed at all for the animation
Why not?
because it's a fucking cartoon. And as much as I love cartoons,
Right.
I'm not going to go to the movie theater to watch a cartoon. And,
Wait,
and I know it's animation,
Right.
and like I hate it. I didn't even enjoy doing it a lot of times with my kids. And I know Disney's all animated movies, but I'm at a point in my life where I don't go. I'm sorry, Matt, but I won't go to the movies to watch a Disney movie just because it's a Disney movie.
Right.
It just doesn't. So even Transformers, even Spider-Man, everybody loved the Spider. I know Dave, your favorite Spider-Man was the animated Spider-Man, correct?
Spider-Verse, yeah.
I still haven't seen it. I just haven't seen it because it doesn't pique my interest. And maybe if I watch it, it'll change. Maybe it will. I'm not saying it won't. I don't know. But from my point of view, watching movies and watching TV and watching this, that, and the other, anime is just out of control right now with my kids watching the anime with all the Japanese and all the just there's so much cartoons right now, and I get some of them. I get but I just don't see me going to the movies to watch a cartoon like that. It just doesn't pique my interest. So for me, live action, yes, they should pull it back a little bit and make it a little bit better.
Did you watch the animated series when you were a kid, like the originals?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay, so there's no like little kid inside you that says, "Oh my God, here's the latest big Transformers movie that's coming out on the big screen."
No, for me, the kid inside me goes, "Holy shit, it's real!" And I know it's not real, but it's the point of it can be real and we can interact with them, and it's not a cartoon. It's not some. I can't get a piece of paper and draw it and then go, and all of a sudden it's real. Like that's what they're doing. They're taking shots of cartoons. I can draw cartoons. I have artistic abilities. I can draw it. Could I make the film? No, because I don't have the technology. But could I do it? Yes. Mm-hmm. I can't set up CGI and fucking hang out with Bumblebee and have Optimus Prime come over and swing in when I'm hanging off of something. No, that's not. I can't do that.
Well, see, and I was just going to ask you that, Don. Did you see Kong versus Godzilla?
Yes.
Okay. Animated movie, right?
Yes.
So.
And I've talked about it, and I said, how long should the movie have been, Dave?
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
But because my point being, it's still an animated.
I mean, for the record, yes, I agree, and I enjoyed it because I turned my brain off and I go, okay, this. But that was again to put live action again. It was live action is similar to that with for me, Optimus Prime or Bumblebee or Jazz or whoever it is. That's CGI. That's all fake, just like King Kong was fake and everything else. But there was real people in it, making it a real film, if you will. Not that it's real, but you know what I'm saying.
Right.
But once it goes to complete anime, and it's drawn up, and then put in that kind of persona, that's where I lose it.
But I would argue
stylized that it was done in.
Right.
Sure. But I would argue some of the animated stuff was better than has been the better stuff of the whole entire genre between live action and that.
The Netflix stuff versus last night.
True. Yeah. Like Transformers Prime when that came out was probably for me their best series. Those were 30-minute clips or 30-minute episodes or whatever. It's a great series. But yeah, the last night, Age of Extinction. Sorry, I can't talk. They were complete garbage. But it was cool to see them in the beginning, like that first Transformers movie. It was cool to see them go from the drawings to the live screen. It was awesome.
It's like the Fast and the Furious. That's never happening. None of that shit is ever like you can't do any of that.
You've
in
never
real life.
Driven your car out of the back of an airplane, down 50 feet, landed on a bridge, and your suspension still works.
Dave, if I could, would I have tried it?
He would have tried it, 100%.
I would have tried it, Matt. I don't know how well you know me, but I definitely would have tried it if I was able to try it.
I'm not saying you wouldn't try it. I'm just saying you haven't.
But I've never done it. No, I haven't done that yet. No, not yet. But
I've heard some just as real quick as outrageous. Like they had a car out in space. I heard
it was absurd. It was so stupid. Yeah.
Well, whatever.
Well, the guys
It's so
on Top Gear
stupid.
tried
It's so
to
stupid.
launch a Reliant Robin into space.
Oh my God.
True story.
For me, I would rather watch that stupidity because it's people like us than watch the cartoons a lot of times because it just doesn't hit for me. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't hit. Obviously, we know it hits for many people, which is why it does so good in the box office.
Right.
I was going to say, which kind of stupidity do you want to watch?
Yeah,
Exactly what it is. It's exactly what it is. And there's a lot of people who watch a lot of stupid stuff. So thank you all my shooters for watching all of this, and we appreciate that. Because here we are. No, but I mean, it just didn't work for me. But I know for you guys, it's great.
Well, Matt, you're a fan of both, right? Both the animated and the live action?
Of the Transformers?
Yeah.
Yes, for the most part. I haven't been fond of some of the stylized directions that they were taking, or just some of the liberties that they took with the movies. Like
as
in the
far
first
as what,
one,
how they looked and whatnot, like how they.
Well, yeah. One, how they looked. I personally was having trouble. Like, wait, which guy is that again?
Yeah, true.
Especially when they're fighting each other. I'm like, who? Wait, who was that? Wait, didn't he die? Didn't his guts get pulled out just 5 minutes ago? When
Right.
No, that was somebody else. Oh wait,
Yeah.
because they all were just
They were very similar.
there. Yeah. Which is, I think, why as they progress the movies, as much as Dave hates it, they changed their looks to be very much more distinctive.
Right. Yeah. Now
But
you
at
know
the
the
same
character
time,
by
then you
first view.
lost a lot of that realism. So you
Right.
kind of, it's that they couldn't walk that fine line.
Yeah.
I was happy when they brought Mark Wahlberg in because I like Mark Wahlberg,
Mhm.
but then you just kind of drop the ball with some of the rest of the script.
I like Megan Fox.
Who
You don't
does?
have to answer. You don't have to agree or disagree. I'm just saying, she looked good to me. And God
Well,
damn it,
I don't think she was the problem.
No, definitely not the problem.
Okay.
Maybe another actor.
Right. yeah.
Or,
yeah.
whatever the pronoun is now.
Yeah.
Was the problem with that one? Who's not appearing in the next Indiana Jones movie? But yeah, so they went through very different stylized versions of it. When they relaunched Bumblebee, kind of to relaunch the series, but not to relaunch the series because that's now still in debate. And
Right.
even after this next movie, it's still in debate. They went with a much better direction. Haley Steinfeld, I think, did a fantastic job in that. They kept it simple. The animation, they put enough characterization into the Transformers, but still made them much more realistic looking.
Yeah, I agree.
So they finally found that line.
Right.
Now we haven't seen this new one, so
Yeah,
I
not yet.
can't talk
can't.
to anything about it.
Right.
The 5-10 minutes I've seen in trailers and stuff, the animation still looks good. The animation of the Transformers themselves. Story wise, I don't know. The reviews that I've read online have been middle of the road.
Yeah.
At worst,
They were mixed. They were mixed from what I've
there,
seen.
there were some people that absolutely hated it. There were some people that loved it, but I've gotten a lot more that are just kind of walking like it's a 6 out of 10 or a 7 out of 10. So
Right.
they didn't absolutely love it. They didn't kill it either.
Right.
Yeah.
Versus the animated stuff. They've put out so much,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
so
It's
much
saturated. Yeah.
animated stuff, and it's gone in so many obscure directions that the identity of what is Transformers is kind of, what is it now?
Yeah.
And who really leads the Transformers? Because when we grew up, it was Optimus Prime. No
That's it.
questions.
That
Okay,
was it.
he's
Done.
dead. It's Optimus Prime, but Optimus Prime is still around, even though he's dead.
Right.
So
Yeah.
we knew who it was, and it was very clean cut. It was defined. Okay, we know who it is. And now it's Bumblebee in the Transformers. Since when did Bumblebee become?
Yeah.
He doesn't talk now, but now he does talk.
Right.
And Optimus
no
Prime
voice
doesn't
has
have
a
a mouth,
voice.
and wait, now he does have a
Right.
mouth. So
Yeah,
it's
it's unreal.
just like,
It's too much change, I think. A little bit too much. But
and then you
they're
got the
trying to get
preschool
it in a
stuff. Which
direction.
I get the want for the preschool stuff because let's get them in early, and
Right,
and I
exactly.
get that. But where were
Mhm.
you going from there? And then, but you've had so many remakes and redos, and okay, here's this, and there's absolutely no connective tissue between them.
No, none at all.
So
Exactly.
where are we
They're just
going with this?
independent movies. Each one's an independent movie.
Yeah, they're like constant reboots. It's kind of like
Yeah.
every new Batman is another reboot of another, Batman
Kind of.
trilogy.
Dave,
Right,
you know who
right.
I am?
What?
You know
Oh,
who
you're
I am?
Batman. Yes, I know you're Batman. He's averaging one Batman every 4 episodes.
Give or take. I'm Batman.
We gotta work on
and,
that.
And then my girlfriend, J-Lo.
J-Lo. Yes.
One of them's gonna come true. You put it in the universe, one of them's coming true. Either I'm Batman or I'm hooking up with J-Lo. Either way, I win.
You're in the wrong state.
I'll go back.
So whoever we were talking about this, okay, then Scarlett Johansson's talking about Transformers 1, and I'm like,
Yeah.
they're reinventing the wheel again,
Again.
Yeah.
Mhm.
because how many times and how many reiterations are we blowing up Cybertron,
Right.
destroying Cybertron? The Autobots were the good, were the oppressed ones, and the Decepticons were the overlords. the most recent one that we saw on Netflix, the Decepticons were the oppressed and the Autobots were the overlords, which really didn't make sense because. So you're making now the Decepticons actually the good guys.
Right. Yeah.
We were the oppressed ones. We want make everything better by destroying everything.
I know what they're doing. They're setting up a bizarro world like Superman.
Multiverse. There's a whole bunch of different multiverses in the Transformers universe.
See, it's coming all together. It's all coming. It's going to be one big mush.
Have you looked at the casting for this Transformers one? I mean, we got it's a multiverse indeed. Chris Hemsworth as Optimus Prime. So Optimus Prime with a Australian accent. Scarlett Johansson as Alita 1. So okay. Yeah. John Hamm as Sentinel Prime.
Okay.
I can see that.
Brian
that one makes
Tyree
a little bit of sense.
Henry as Megatron.
Who?
Brian Tyree Henry.
I don't know who that is.
Brian Tyree.
What do we know him? He's in Spider-Verse, the new Spider-Verse movie. Bullet Train.
Okay. Bullet Train's son. Yeah.
Steel, Window, Class of 09.
To the wall. Oh, no.
Magician's Elephant, Atlanta.
So we don't know him that much. He's been around, but we don't really. Maybe by
Dave, you remember the Eternals?
Yeah, the Eternals. I love that movie. It was the greatest Marvel movie.
Oh, we just actually talked about this too. He was in Godzilla versus King Kong.
There you go.
The 5-minute movie.
Yeah, he was in Joker, Child's Play. So he's done stuff. He was actually in both Spider-Verse movies. So he's got actually some.
He's been around.
Yeah.
So with that list of characters, are you saying that there's promise for this just based on the voice actors?
Hold on, I'm not done yet. Lawrence Fishburne.
There you
Lawrence
go.
Fishburne as Alpha Trion, and Bumblebee. Keegan-Michael Kay.
Oh, jeez. All right.
So, I'm sure I've brought this up before, Dave. If not, when I see a casting like that, I kind of start already questioning the quality of the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, here's all the names we got. All right, that's great.
Here's all the money and the names.
Where's the story?
Right.
Where's the effects? Where's the anime? Where's everything else? Because if you're selling it
this
on,
hand's doing something else.
Right. If you're selling me on a movie, and this was kind of like one of my issues with the first Star Trek remake in 09. It's like, okay, you're selling me on the cast list.
Right.
Well, where was the rest of it? It was all stars, but no Trek.
So the story's going to be the story could potentially be shit, but the cast is great.
Correct.
Right. It was something else. Eternals was kind of like that. It's like, oh, look at all these people we got.
Right. Yeah.
Okay,
but
you could have
storyline shit, right?
Yeah, the movie was.
Well, the editing on that, I've learned a lot. You want to talk about cutting Godzilla down. If you cut that movie down and sped it up a little bit, if you spread up the pacing, it probably would have done a lot better. Because there's a couple of storylines that we really didn't need in there. They didn't pay out.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Okay.
All right.
So very good. So Transformers, we'll see how it goes. Time will tell.
Hopefully, it's going to be more than meets the eye.
There we go.
So let's roll out onto the next topic.
Yes. All right. So on that show, we talk a lot of Marvel stuff. So on this, it's going to be cool to hear him talk about the DC side. So.
Ooh.
Waiter.
Check, please.
So now, my question to Matt would be, Marvel was doing it right for a long time. They've been sputtering recently. I think a lot of it is superhero fatigue or whatever.
Or saturation.
Saturation's another.
I think we've talked about my other theory on that too.
DC's movies have been sputtering basically from the beginning of them trying to get stuff out. What do you think is the reasoning why Marvel was so successful where DC really couldn't nail it? Because outside of their Batmans, the Dark Knight trilogy for me was the best DC trilogy that I've seen.
Right. Yeah. Outside that, though,
where are we going?
Well, let's go back to what, the 70s. So you had the original Superman movie. Have you either of you gone back to watch the original Superman movie?
I want to.
No.
I actually wanted to recently. I just haven't had the time, but I'm like, you know what? I haven't seen it in a long time, and I wanted my kids to watch it with me just to see it and see how bad it is. But I mean, good it is.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, I know exactly what it is because the graphics and the whole movie premise.
No. It goes beyond the graphics. So in my film class that I was in this year, we one of the movies that we showed the kids was the Superman. Yeah. 78 Superman, and it was. I'm sitting there lampooning, almost doing like a mystery science theater with it, along with the two other teachers, just because it's just like none of this should work.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it did that because we didn't know any better. This was
Right.
cool.
Right.
So
It was brand new.
DC cornered the market then because
Right.
Marvel did try to put out a movie. Have you seen the Captain America movies or the Spider-Man movies or the Japanese Spider-Man series that they had in the 60s and stuff?
No, because I think he went like this, and then it took like 3 seconds, and then the web came out, just like they're talking. Right.
And there was it was because of the aliens, and you know,
Yeah.
it was very Scientology. So it was Marvel just couldn't get anything live action going. They still had some animated stuff that was okay. We moved forward to so we had the Superman stuff in the 70s and 80s. In the late 80s and 90s, we had Batman, and those were cool because you had
Are we talking the Michael Keaton Batmans?
Michael Keaton,
Yep.
directed by
I don't know.
I don't. No, don't know.
Tim Burton.
There you go.
Okay.
Took me a moment myself. I was trying to let you guys pull me through, but no.
Yeah, no, we're not.
Sorry, we failed.
You came to the wrong podcast for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Haven't I taught you guys anything? So yes, you had Tim Burton's Batman, with the first two being Tim Burton,
Right.
which people just loved because it was so much darker than anything else that we've seen, and again, stuck with the more realistic than the fantastic.
Right.
I mean, there was nothing too fantastical about how everything played out. Okay, the Joker fell in a vat of acid. Okay, but he got plastic surgery. And okay, this explains everything. It pans out beautifully. We've never had a backstory to Joker before that movie.
Mhm.
Ever.
Right, but then that got a little convoluted when they started bringing too many people in, and you got Arnold Schwarzenegger walking around as Mr. Freeze, So
Well,
this is very exciting. I'm going to freeze everybody freeze.
Oh, you got to chill.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, first two were Tim Burton. I said that.
Yeah.
After that, Tim Burton stepped away. So did Michael Keaton and everybody. And so they kind of, without relaunching the series, okay, we recasted with Val Kilmer. With the Spring
That's
and
the one that
Robin
had nipples,
finally.
right?
No, that was the next one.
That was George at the next
That
one.
was George Clooney. George Clooney
Clooney
likes his nipples
Has
exposed.
nipples?
Has nipples on the Batman suit.
Why Batwoman's suit didn't have nipples, I don't know. Batgirl suit didn't have nipples, but I don't know.
Well,
But
Batman did. Very, very strange for me.
and Robin,
And Robin, yeah.
which
That's right,
were
Robin did too.
really good for Saturday Night Live. They really
That's right.
appreciated that.
The ambiguously gay duo.
So what the new producer and director said at that point, no, I wanted more to be connected, to feel like a comic book.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Introducing
bring
the
humor.
oversaturated colors, the weird camera angles,
Right.
smacking back to the Adam West Batman's, which there's a very interesting story to that. But the Adam West Batman from the 60s, which
Right.
was also hugely popular. So and then we're going to bring in like the more lighthearted side. We're not making it dark anymore. We're going
Right.
to make it a little goofier, a little oversaturated. Still kind of sadistic, but not as dark
Cartoony, though.
visually. Yes,
Right.
a little more on the
Cartoony,
cartoony.
sadistic.
Yeah, because you had the weird sounds. I mean, come on, you had Jim Carrey as the Riddler.
Yeah.
Smoking. Yeah.
Riddle me this, riddle me that.
Right. So, and then you just keep getting further after. Well, you had only one more after that.
Right.
So, and that's really where they started losing it because they just got too
It got
ridiculous
stupid.
with that.
Yeah, it was too much of a cartoon of a spin-off of a joke.
Right,
And it
but
became a
not
joke.
long after that, then we got Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man.
Right.
And again, pulling it back to being more realistic. Except for
Yep.
Webb's shooting out of his skin. Which I really appreciated the jokes in No Way Home on that. You know, it's like, wait, it comes out of your skin? Is there anywhere else it shoots out of?
Right.
Can we not talk about this?
I've watched a movie like that one time. I'm just saying. I don't know if anybody's ever seen that movie. That was one of those late night Showtime Cinemax movies.
Dave, I think someone can pull that up on his box if you want.
Yeah, exactly.
It was a female that got bit by the spider. It was a little bit different, but it was similar.
Ah, okay.
Interesting.
She caught the bad guy.
I bet she did.
Oh shit. Where were we?
Duct tape anyway.
But so soon after that, though, they started,
But so you had Sony did the Tobey Maguires,
right.
and again going more realistic, but each one started more the third one where they really dropped the ball on that, and that's because it wasn't the director. It was more Sony trying to get a little more. Oh, you need to put Venom in. Well, Venom doesn't fit in this. No, just you need to write him in, and it's like, well, how do we do that? Well, you need to just put him in. We don't care how.
Right.
So things got a little ruined there, and so it's like, okay, we're going to do a fourth one, but they didn't. They relaunched it, recasted Amazing Spider-Man. At this point, if I have my timelines matched up, Iron Man's already out.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah. I believe so.
So, Iron Man, Incredible Hulk already going out. So, wait, we're getting this really cool stuff actually from Marvel, and then we have Sony stuff. Sony's other problem, again, is they keep on trying to do big. They're trying to do a Sinister Six, and this is the sort that they've been trying to kill themselves on since Tobey Maguire.
Mm-hmm.
Introducing the Rhino and everybody, and they tried to push that with the Amazing Spider-Mans, and then people just didn't buy it because a bionic Rhino, and just everything got a little really bizarre on that.
Mm-hmm.
And they're trying to pull up this whole big universe and the Sinister Six movies and everything, and that's what they're still trying to do that now. And this, whenever you had the email leaks at Sony, came out, and they're still trying to do it. Which is why we have Kraven the Hunter coming out. We had Venom. We had Morbius.
Venom, I'm a big fan of. Both of those movies were excellent. For me, excellent. I love them.
That's why you're sitting by yourself, Dave.
Kraven.
That's why you're sitting by yourself, Dave.
I enjoyed it as an entertainment point of view, but I didn't put a lot of like, okay, this is going to be based off of what I remember, or this is going to be based off of this. It was just, okay, they brought him in, and the cool special effects, and it's entertaining, and that's what I rode with, and it was enjoyable for that.
Right.
If you set your expectations of that, you can't fail.
That's right. That's why all my viewers, listen to me. Set yourself so low that we're amazing every single time.
Well, look, I'll for John Wick, okay, you're not going to get an Academy Award-winning movie, acting, and all that stuff like that. You're going to get nonstop action. Ass-kicking, whatever.
Right.
So you go in there knowing that's what you get. You shut your brain
Why aren't
off.
you getting Oscar award-winning acting? Come on, Brendan Fraser has won an Oscar.
I know, true. Anybody can win.
Man has won an Oscar.
Anybody can win, Dave. Anybody can win.
But when has an action hero won an Academy Award? Or Bruce Willis didn't win one. No, Mel Gibson didn't win one. These guys don't win.
Clint Eastwood has an Academy Award.
Clint does. It doesn't.
As what though? As a director though? No. Or did he win one as an actor?
Sly's got one for Rocky.
True.
Yeah.
Thank you.
As producer and writer.
Producer and writer. Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, my thing was, I think for the DC universe of recent stuff, they tried to go the route of Marvel. Marvel did the individual superhero movies. They all kind of led into each other, which led off to the Avengers, which capped off on an amazing 2-part ending or whatever with those movies. DC tried to do that I think the movies weren't doing as good, so they said, "Fuck it, we're just going to push out the Justice League with them all in there," and that didn't even take until Snyder redid it. Like, I don't know if you ever seen the Snyderverse version.
Hold on.
That was actually better.
Hold on with that one. Back to talking about the Snyder. Let me just finish with one Best Actor for Unforgiven.
Best Actor for Unforgiven. Oh, okay. All right. I can see that, though. That was an excellent picture.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So, DC.
Can I bring the truck forward again?
Back it up. Back it. Come on. Keep it coming. All right, So, all right. So DC's like, all right, let's launch a new Superman movie, because we just did the Batman movies, and we can't do the Dark Knight one. Then why are we relaunching it again 2 years later?
Right.
So we have Man of Steel. Okay, does good. People enjoyed it. People liked it for whatever reason.
Right.
All right, we need to do a sequel. Well, all right. So how do we top this? Well, let's bring Batman in.
Batman versus Superman.
That's me.
Batman versus Superman. Okay. Yes. And we can go somewhere with this. So we'll bring Batman in, and we could use that as a launching point for Justice League.
Right.
Yes. So okay, this all makes sense. Okay, we could. So, Batman versus Superman. That will be our lead into Justice League, and that's going to launch everything that way, and we'll introduce everybody in Justice League. We're going to introduce characters that we know who they are.
Right.
In this universe, we have never met them before.
Right.
Where did Wonder Woman come from?
Right.
Why is Aquaman
Flash.
hanging out at a bar?
Yeah.
Right.
In fact, 2 movies later, we still don't know why Aquaman's still hanging out at a bar.
That's where I'd be.
Flash is concealed in a basement as like a stalker.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know why, but we're okay with this.
Mm-hmm.
Cyborg, he's just a guy with a bunch of parts. So sure, we don't know why, but hey, we're supposed to care for these people. We don't know why, but they tell us this.
Mm-hmm.
And even Batman's just like, okay, he's here. He destroyed a bunch of buildings because he was mad at Superman for destroying a bunch of buildings. We don't know why, but hey, their mother has the same name. Everything is good.
It's perfect. Everything's good. Yeah,
It's perfect.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
The worst writer cop out in the history of movies. Wait, how do we resolve this? Their mothers have the same name.
Yeah.
So are you saying Marvel
Gold!
Are you saying Marvel had the advantage with the writing team? Is that what you're saying?
Marvel had its advantage with Feige.
With Feige, yes.
And a lot of it with the writing team and just a number of other things. Let's do a team-up movie, but let's introduce almost all the characters from the team-up movie beforehand in individual movies.
Yeah.
Right.
So, okay, we start with Iron Man, and we also have the Incredible Hulk. Okay, great. We have that going. And then let's slip in Nick Fury showing up at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we start already connective tissue.
Yeah, they do the little
All right.
teaser.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Here comes Thor.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got Thor now. So we've introduced Iron Man, we introduced Hulk, we introduced Nick Fury. We're introducing Thor, we introduced Hawkeye, and look, we got Loki too.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just
Who's
an
going to be your
intro,
main adversary?
It's a leading up. It's not just okay, this is the character and this is their backstory or anything else. But you're invested with them to the point where you go, okay, I want to know more.
Right.
Where are they going to go? How are they going to interact now with each other? Whereas DC just
but not just that, they also at the end of each movie, and this is something now that whenever people are leaving the theater at the end of the movie, you go, "What is wrong with you people?
Have you never seen one of these movies?" Right, exactly.
It's been 15 years and you haven't figured it out yet.
I know.
The post trailer credit scenes or whatever you want to call them, those were
key.
Fabulous. They're a hit.
But they teased you enough that makes you wait, no. I need to find out about this.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to know more about this.
Yeah.
These 30 seconds
Has a
The
lot of
best
connection.
just as
tissue.
important as the 2.5 hours that I just watched.
Absolutely.
Not only is it as important, but it's even more important because they already had you.
Right.
It's more important now because now not only do they have you for what you did, they have you for the next one. And your mind is talking about it with everybody else and building it so much more that even if it's a crap movie, it's built up so much by us because we're the idiots who are doing it that we have to see it. They won.
Yeah.
Right, and then we get Captain America: First Avenger, and at that point everything's rolling, everything's full steam, going right along. And then we get the Avenger movie several months later, and again we were talking about going back and watching movie. You go back and watch the first Avenger movie, it's okay.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But at that
compared
point,
to the newest Avenger movies,
compared to even Age of Ultron, just the look, the feel, everything about it. Like Captain America in this weird tight outfit, like looks like he's on the back of a motorcycle, not a Harley Davidson, Kawasaki.
That's not Captain America. What?
Again, go back to the '60s Captain America TV show and movie. But yeah, so you get all of that, and but we never saw anything like that.
Right.
Where you had that many important characters and balanced in the amount of time that we got exposure of them.
Right.
Yeah.
That you never thought that, oh, I saw too much of this guy. I saw too much of that.
Right.
Everything of just the balance of it was brilliant.
The writing and the editing on that was amazing because they did it. I mean, par none. There was nobody else who ever did anything like that. There was nobody else who even tried doing it. And the closest we had was the Justice League cartoons and shit like that. And it was like, okay, now this is real. Now... And it came out amazing. And like you said, it wasn't the first one, obviously not as good as it kept going, but to have that work and to have the characters interact with each other so well with the actors, I mean, that contributes to the actors as well, pulling it off, making us believe that they're doing it. This is amazing.
Yeah, because there was a long-term plan there, all these movies. They had it, I'm assuming
they
had it all
oh.
mapped up. And
The
they nailed
board was across and around.
But no, truly it is. Feige in his office has a board with a whole everything planned out, even the stuff that we know about into stuff that we don't know about. He does have that all planned out. And specifically not even so much movies, but key events. Okay.
Right.
This has to happen in this, happen to like Winter Soldier. One of the things that he said, in Winter Soldier, we have to have the helicarriers crash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
That was one of the key things that had to happen in that movie. We don't know why we did. Yeah. But again, he has this plan of, okay, this has to happen at some point. This has to happen at some point. You have to introduce this person.
And it ties it all together.
It's worked out brilliantly.
Right.
Where I think Marvel is slipping now is where before we had Winter Soldier was a spy thriller. They were different genres with a superhero in it. Now it's just a superhero movie, not with the different genres. You're losing the genre part.
They're taking the character. They're not taking it the way it's supposed to be, where the key moments, the characters are working around key moments. They're taking the main characters and they're trying to make key moments that link to other key moments through. Okay, we made this movie. Now this movie has to link up with this movie and keep going. Whereas the other one, it's laid out already.
The one I would argue to that is of the most recent batch, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. They were trying to go more horror. Now I think they pulled a lot of that out in the editing.
Yeah.
But they were trying to make that more of a horror movie.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Okay. So, but other than that, Shang-Chi, we're trying to make it more of a martial arts movie. You had elements of it, but you didn't have enough elements. It wasn't like a Bruce Lee movie or one of the like a ninja movie or something like that. You had moments of that, which is why I think Shang-Chi worked a little better than some of the other ones. Eternals has none of that. No. Quantumania has none of that. So some of these more Black Widow, don't even get me started. So.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you.
I liked watching that like I like watching a female tennis match. I'll sit there and watch it and go, all right, that was fun.
Well, I
But
mean, considering
I'm
she
not getting
bounces
anything
around-
out of it.
She
I thought
bounces
you-
around like a tennis ball in that, and what comes out
Perfect.
fine.
Yeah, I'm not mad at her. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
But
So,
yeah,
so
I
why
see
is
your point.
Hopper going around in a red uniform now?
Well, bring up one last question though.
Yeah.
Do you think? Okay, so with the Star Wars universe, when Last Jedi and Rises, the whatever Skywalker came
Rise of
out.
Skywalker, Last
Rise of
Jedi,
Skywalker.
Force Awakens. Yes.
After those two movies and Solo in there was like there was just a big outburst
Rogue
of how. Rogue One was awesome though, so I'm not counting that. I'm just counting like the latter movies.
The ones that made billions of dollars. Okay.
Lucasfilm put a pause on. Yeah, but they were horrible. But Lucasfilm put a
They
pause
still
on
made
their
billions of dollars. That's debatable.
But Lucasfilm put a pause on the movies because they go, okay, we need to reboot and come up with a fresh plan. Do you think that Marvel and DC suffered on that word? They should have pushed the pause after Endgame and after their Justice League movie and tried to reset and come up with a better plan than to just keep pushing out the movies.
Well, Marvel, not so much because you had everything rolling. I think maybe they were starting to oversaturate a little bit, but after Endgame, you still had No Way Far From Home. Far From Home came out.
Far From Home, yeah, the Spider-Man. Yeah.
And that hit.
Come on, Don.
All right, I got nothing. They didn't draw any cartoon ass in that.
Let's put it this way: none of the Spider-Man in that one were wearing butt implants. Like,
Right, exactly.
No.
I'm out. You lost me a butt.
And let's see, what else did you have after? Ragnarok was before that.
Yeah, it was Ragnarok, Infinity Wars, Endgame. Then you had the Spider-Man.
Well, no, you had Captain Marvel in between those.
Oh yeah.
Then you
yeah,
had, then you had Endgame. Then you had Spider-Man, and I'm sorry to blank. What
Black Widow, Shang-Chi,
well, okay.
Eternals.
So let's remember what happened then. So not long after all that, little thing called COVID happened.
Mm.
So Shang-Chi, Love and Thunder were already in production. Black Widow was already made. Question of what is anything happening in the world is really going on. So anything that could happen is only happening at home. So Black Widow was already done. They were able to do quick little edits at home, and they were able to release that. They did release it in theaters, but 2 or 3 theaters were open. 2 or 3 people might have gone to the theaters. Everything. Right. So they released it on Disney Plus as a premium thing, because what's the blueprint? What do we do whenever the entire world is shut down?
Right. Yeah.
So, and then Shang-Chi, like I said, was a lot of that was already in production, but they had to halt that. They had to stop it. And then eventually go back to that. Was filming in Australia. So you had these other things going on, but they everything had to stop. And now it's okay. Things are starting to get up and going. Also, Disney changed CEOs in that time frame. A lot of things have happened from the point, and I don't think anyone really thinks about it, how much has happened since the point Endgame finished, since it came out to theaters and released, and we all watched it and loved it. Mm-hmm. And everything that's happened ever since that, not just in Marvel, but just in the world in general.
Yeah.
So for anything to just say, okay, this is garbage, you have to unfortunately take in mind what Marvel had to endure to be able to make some of these movies, to put out some of this stuff. Like whenever plus they also started making the streaming stuff then. So we had Falcon and Winter Soldier. When they were filming that stuff, they were wearing masks. Yeah. They took them off for a brief period of time to shoot the scenes, and then every time they stopped, they put the mask back on. So it's like like you watch the behind the scenes stuff. They're all walking around in mask stuff and everything now. Which to now that we've been removed from that for a little bit of time seems strange to look back on.
True, but now we're out of it now.
That long.
Right, but we are out of it now. So wouldn't the more current Marvel movies have a little bit more quality to them? You know what I mean?
Remember how long it takes to make a movie.
That's true. This is true.
It's still in the process.
Yeah. So like the Marvels comes out in November. They started working on that movie over 2 years ago.
Yeah. All right. Well,
gone through 2 or 3 directors, and just a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
So, but the thought process of that actually started in WandaVision.
Mm-hmm.
So you are getting a lot of long game and things pulled out through that.
And She-Hulk.
She-Hulk.
Tatiana Maslin. Oh, hello. She is. I love her. She is fantastic. I enjoyed her in She-Hulk. I love her in Orphan Black. So I've been watching her since she started on this.
Dom, what was her job in the She-Hulk series?
She was a lawyer.
Oh, yeah.
That's for Dave, not for Matt.
Thank you.
You got 2 of them, Dave, and you can suck it.
I was trying to
Speaking of which, did you see her in Orphan Black?
No,
I didn't see that, but I did see She-Hulk.
Go back to go watch the first episode of Orphan Black and then get back to me.
Okay.
We'll leave it at that.
Dave, you thought you had me, you son of
I
a
had
bitch.
to. I thought. I'm like, I'm gonna get him.
Dead to rights. Nope. Fucking greasy son of a bitch I am. Right through that one.
Well, let me go back to Dave.
Yeah.
So you were talking about the Snyder Cut.
Yes.
I am sorry, but I did watch it and I enjoyed it, and it was so much better than than what we got as the Justice League. But for you to tell me that was what the original movie was planned, whenever you had to reshoot 90% of it and you added on 3 times the amount of movie.
Well, true, but
no,
it wasn't. But it was still better than the.
This is right. This is me backtracking, going, okay, this is what people didn't like about this. This is what people are saying about this. And let me rewrite into off the notes.
But they can't keep going back and have a Snyder cut for every fucking movie, though. Cause...
Well, no. This is what I'm saying. The Snyder, as much as people, the Snyder cut is beautiful, and this is what he intended. No, that's not what he intended. This is what he came back wherever you said what the movie was garbage.
Right.
And everything else about it was. I mean, yes, and a lot happened. Poor guy had family issues with his daughter and everything going on at the time, so that's why he had to step away. Makes perfect sense. I can't fault the guy for taking care of his family.
Right.
But at the same time, you did not. That was not the vision of that movie, because you used very little of the original movie for the Snyder Cut.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So, you can't say it's the same movie. They're really 2 different movies.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what the future holds. I know Gunn is taking over for DC. Hopefully, Marvel has its plan out. Hopefully, these movies. I mean, everything's being pushed off because of the writer strike and stuff. But hopefully, we get a good product coming up, because right now they're both spinning wheels, man.
No, we've talked about Deadpool 3, which is why that movie's getting pulled forward.
Yeah.
So that's being left how the other 2 movies were made. So if you enjoyed the first 2 Deadpool movies, then you, in theory, should like the 3rd one.
Right.
Yep. All right.
And for me, again, we know what to add for me. Storyline.
and scantily clad superheroes.
That's right. Dave. There is nothing wrong with scantily clad superheroes. Just for the record, I mean,
Ryan Reynolds, I am sure will put. You put the wrong pose for Black Widow. And
then here's
Mystique.
You ready for the throwback?
The
throwback.
Whoa!
You do realize what Mystique is actually not wearing.
Yeah, but do I know what she's not wearing is the blue paint, because I wish there was none there.
Did you ever see what the original promo shot of that was?
No.
No, I don't think so.
It didn't have the scales. Let's put it that way.
Oh, that's awesome.
Now you're going to have Tom Google that as soon as this is
I'm going to find it. That might be the next episode, Dave. The Great Mystique.
So, yeah, that was an afterthought. But yeah, I mean, she's not wearing anything.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's how I like them. That to me is a superhero.
That's a hero.
You have fixed all of my problems. Almost.
Again, I think we'd also want to get that on his streaming box.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right. Well, Matt, I want to thank you for coming on. I know it's a lot different than your show, and it's got a lot more twists and turns, but I appreciate you coming on. Thank you very much.
We kept this on my standards. You've gone over your usual allotted amount of time.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. I knew that was happening. Listen, I knew that was happening right from the gate.
Yeah. Usually with 3 people, it's a long.
It's a little bit longer.
100% okay, man. It was good.
No worries.
Well, we know that about Dave and his meat. Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Bopping the meat.
Bopping my meat.
But no, I do want to thank you, and please plug yourself. Give me any socials you have or anything else. If anybody's watching, they want to come in and see the WD Magicast. Tell them all about it. Tell them where to find you.
Show's name is WD Magicast. We are available everywhere. I just breaking news on this episode actually is that we are now available on through SiriusXM, Pandora. Stitcher is actually going away; they'll be closing, but until Stitcher closes, we will be available on there. But we're available on all your favorite podcatchers. We do have stuff on YouTube. Our Facebook group is facebook.com/WDMagicast. Twitter, TikTok, every so often I put stuff up on there. Instagram, we are at WD Magicast. And if you have any questions or suggestions you'd like to send to the show, family friendly, send it to email at WDMagicast.com.
Very good.
Awesome.
Thank you very much. If anybody has any questions for us, shooting it straight, WDC@gmail.com. Same as always, way down low. All the way
Hello, Matt.
Way down. There you go, right there.
Right about here.
Oh, right over here. I brought it to the dark side. No.
Dave, please tell me, am I close? Close?
But I want to say, Matt, thank you so much, too.
Yes.
I greatly appreciate it. You didn't have to do this, and it's awesome, man. Thank you.
Oh, it's my pleasure. And I did forget the website, WDMagicast.com. But no, my pleasure. Thank you. Thank you guys for having me on. It's been a lot of fun. Really enjoyed it. Thank you so much. You guys put out a great product. It's a lot of fun, really enjoyable.
Thank you.
The banter's great. The topics sometimes get good too.
Thank you.
Occasionally.
Occasionally.
But for the record, Matt, you can fix that. You can write in your own questions.
There you go.
And we can talk about Dave trimming his shrubbery.
That's right. You could be anonymous. Just say, you know, anonymous questions.
That's right. All right. Well, like always, everybody, thank you very much. I hope you had a great time. Please don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. See ya.
See you next time.